So we're in the clarification of terms. So we haven't been in the clarification of terms in a long time. In a long time. And remember, the clarification of terms is where the author takes various terms that you find in the text and it clarifies them. God, spirit, ego, things like that. And it's like, I know you hear these terms all the time. Why don't we do a little bit of clarification about those terms, just in case you were wondering, what does it mean when it says Holy Spirit? What does it mean when it says God? What does it mean when it says ego?
Sin.
What does it mean when it says sin? What does it mean when it talks about the body? What does it mean when it says creation? So then in the clarification of terms, clarifies them. Now this is after it's clarified all those terms. And the epilogue, in my experience, has always been like the graduation speech.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently we're all at some point where Spirit wants to acknowledge how far we've come. Yes. And wants to be like, it's like the commencement speech. It's like, now, you've gone through this process, you've done well, you've graduated, and now, as you're about to go back into the world with what you've learned, let us give you one final, what would you call it, like send-off speech, like a commencement speech. Like, you've come this far, you've accomplished this, you've learned what you're to be doing. You've been in your lessons for all this time. You've learned well. You didn't even graduated. But what are you going to need to learn? What are you going to need to remember as you go out into the world with what you've gained or what you've learned by being in this course? Just like as if you were graduating from college or from high school. And to me, so this is like the commencement speech. And it is the very last section in the entire curriculum. That's it. There is nothing after that. So, how interesting. So it must be that you, Nita, and all of us here literally have come to a place where we have learned well. And we're about ready to take what we learned and take it out into the world and use it. Just like as if we were graduating college, and so, we're going to hear, like, now that you've learned it, and now that you're about to take it out into the world, here's what you need to remember.
Do this.
Ready? Okay. So here's what it says in the epilogue. It says, "Forget not that once this journey is begun, the end is certain." Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that end.
Yes.
Once you begin the journey of how can I be of service, the end of that journey is certain. You don't have to worry about that. Okay? So he says, the moment you say, hey, how can I be of service to the world, instead of just to my own personal private needs, he says, the minute anybody asks that question, and puts themselves in that service, they become a teacher of God, he says, even if they don't believe in God. Isn't that great? Even if you don't believe in God, you become a teacher of God. And the minute you put yourself in that service, how can I be of service in the larger scheme of things to the world's awakening more than to my own getting? You say, you become a teacher, and also you embark upon a journey. You start. You may not realize it at all that you took your first step on a journey. And that the second you begin that journey, it's as good as done. The second you put yourself on that path, the beings that are in charge of that journey, they're like, okay, great, we'll take it from here. Don't worry about the rest, we'll handle it from here. Once this journey is begun, the end is certain. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. You can relax. You began. That was the hardest part. That was your part. Now you can relax. We'll take it from here. That's what he's saying. Okay? And you have begun. And he says, doubt along the way will come. It will. And then it will go. And then guess what? It will go and come again. Just in case you were wondering. what's going to be happening on that, what do you call it? Along the way. So you've begun, you said, okay, I'm willing to be of service and serve the awakening of humanity. Okay, he says, now you're on the way. Your footsteps are on the way. And on the way, as you're progressing on the way, doubt is going to come. What am I doing? What am I doing here? What's all up for? Am I doing good? Am I doing right? Am I succeeding? Am I failing? Am I doubt, self-doubt. Am I learning anything? Am I getting this? Am I doing this right? Am I failing? Doubt along the way will come, and then it will go, and then it will come again. Just in case you're wondering. So if you are experiencing doubt along your way, am I doing it right? Am I progressing? Am I evolving? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? If you're experiencing doubt right now about the path that you're on or that you've chosen, please know that that is as it should be. That's part of the path. That's right. Just know that, oh, this is the doubt that will come and go and come and go and go to come again. Oh, okay. So in other words, self-doubt does not mean failure. Yay! And the crowd goes crazy with joy at hearing that their self-doubt was really part of the curriculum and that it still means they're on track. Oh, I'm having doubt. Oh, that means they're on track? Who knew? Okay, you're telling me that self-doubt means I'm on the way. Great. Okay, good. Because that's not how I was interpreting my doubt. Right. How was I interpreting my doubt? Failure. Yay. Okay, we got you one yay. We can go on. He said, doubt along the way will come and go to come again. That doesn't matter, he says, because yet is the ending sure. Hey, once you take one step along this path, forget about it. The ending is sure. You can delay all you want. You can procrastinate. You can doubt, and you can procrastinate. That's fine. Do it all you want. The end is sure. The moment you say, I am willing to serve the greater awakening, even more than I would like to serve my own special private needs in this moment, the second you make that decision, your foot is put on the path and you are on the path. And that in the end, you getting to the end, your goal is assured. It's as good as done. And yes, your doubt will come and go, but that doesn't change anything. Doubt all you want. Be insecure all you want. All you're doing is delaying the inevitable. That's all. Isn't that beautiful? Because I know that I have put my foot on the path. I know I have. How do I know? Because I have done so many things to signify that I'm willing to serve the greater awakening. I know I have. In so many ways. Like, for instance, I've started studying this book. Okay? All right. So then it says, paragraph 1, sentence 4, no one can fail to do what God appointed them to do. That's why the end is sure. That's why once you start on this path, the end is assured. And the worst you could do is delay. That's it. Because you can't fail to do what God appointed you to do. God said, hey, would you help me save the world? I would like for you to help me save the world and have a special plan for you to do that in just the way that would make you happy. Would you like to do that? And we went, okay. All right. Do you have anything better to do? No, not really. Is there anything better on TV? No, not really. And you said yes. Okay. And you can't fail to do what God appointed you to do. Okay, great. That's why once you begin upon this path and say, okay, I will take my place among the healers of the world, then the end is as good as done. Then he said, now when you forget, notice it didn't say if you, it said when. It didn't say if you forget, it said no, when you forget. Forget what? Forget that you are on a path on which you cannot fail to accomplish your goal. Did anybody forget today they're on one of those?
Yeah.
When you forget that you're on a path that you cannot fail to do what you've been appointed to do, when you forget about that and you're like, I'm a failure, I'll never get there. Apparently, God was mistaken when He chose me. He didn't know what He was doing. He doesn't know me. You know me, the procrastinator, me, the disorganized one. He said, when you forget, He says, here's what I want you to remember. What I want you to remember is that you walk with God, and what that means is that you walk with God's word upon your heart. Okay, so somehow that's supposed to be helpful. Okay, when I forget that what I started to do and that what I've been appointed to do by love, and what I've been appointed to do is to be a channel and a medium for the healing of the planet. When I forget that I've been appointed to do that and I cannot fail to do that, and the worst I can do is delay to do that, when I forget about that and think I'm hopeless, I want you to remember that God's word is written on your heart. You can't get rid of it. You can't lose it. You can't, sorry, it's written on your heart. There's no way that you're getting away from it. Isn't that interesting? That's what He wants us to remember when we forget that our way is appointed and we can't fail. Oh, so in other words, that love has written its plan and its message on my heart, and there's nothing I can do to get rid of that. And there's nothing I can do to screw that up. And there's nothing that can keep me anymore from fulfilling what I've been appointed to do. That's what He wants us to remember. When doubt begins to oppress us, I'll never fulfill my function. I know, you, God, that you asked me to be a healer on this planet, but I'm telling you, I'm too messed up. I am. My friends will tell you. Did I fail to remind you of my past? Remember? God? Remember? Remember what I did in the past? So, in other words, when I begin to forget that my way is appointed and I can't fail to do it because the truth is written on my heart, there's no way around it. When I forget that, He said, don't forget. It's written on your heart. There ain't no getting around it. Don't worry. You are going to get there. You are going to accomplish the goal that I set for you. I set the goal and the role of being a healer to the planet, and that's exactly what's going to happen in the end. That's it. And you can doubt yourself all you want. But the moment that you said you were willing to be a vehicle for the healing of the planet, well, I took it from there and I set it up for you. It's done. Okay? And now you can just relax and, and not be too hung up about your past and your ego and your hang-ups and your fears and all the things that you use to tell you that maybe love was mistaken in choosing you. There's a lot of ways I'm like, love, you were mistaken in choosing me. I'm disorganized, I'm not committed, I'm lazy, I'm selfish, I'm greedy, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm really busy. All the things that we use to tell ourselves that love was mistaken in choosing us. Anybody got any of those?
Pretty much the same list.
Yeah, you got the same list.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this past in which I was never encouraged, I was discouraged, nobody recognized me, I was put down, I was belittled, I never was supported in believing in myself, I was mean to others, I is greedy. So obviously, love, are you sure? Are you sure you want me? Are you sure I'm crucial to your plan for the healing of the planet? Are you sure? Aren't there some much more qualified people than me? Okay, when you doubt the value of you to that plan of the healing of mankind, you need to remember, love's word is written on your heart. You can't get away from it. In other words, you're always, no matter what now, that's what's going to come through you, no matter how you try to fight it. Yes, Chris?
Well, and I kind of laugh because even as you're saying this, the ego is playing the what if game. The ego saying, well, what if like you decide to go and kill someone, then what?
Yeah.
I just kind of laugh because it's like, just the way I'm hearing you say right now, the way you're saying it right now is that nothing can shake that. And so I just kind of laugh.
That's right, you have to. Would you please laugh at that?
It's so
Yes,
funny.
thank you. Exactly. It doesn't matter how true the truth is. The ego will never love it. The ego will always mass its forces against your release. It will always. The ego will never go, oh yeah, truth is true, whatever. Okay, bye. It will never do that. So, and you got to be aware of that. So then it says, paragraph 1, sentence 6. If all that is true that it just said in those 5 sentences, who could despair when hope like that is theirs? If you really believed everything it just said, could you despair? Could you?
No. Mm-mm.
No, you couldn't. He says, but illusions of despair may seem to come. So hear it say that. Illusions of despair may seem to come. Okay, so don't be surprised. Okay, don't be like, oh. You go like, oh yeah, he said despair would come. And he also said illusions of despair. Meaning you will have moments where you really feel like it's hopeless. Like, it's not, I know you asked me to be a healer to the world, but I'm telling you, it's hopeless. It's hopeless. I can't be anybody's healer. I'm messed up. You want me to be a healer, a healing agent for the planet? I don't know about that. I can't even get up out of bed today. Okay? Illusions of despair may seem to come. He says, but I want you to learn something. And here's what I want you to learn. I want you to learn how not to be deceived by them. Wouldn't that be great? Illusions of despair come and you're like, they no hope today. Not for me, not for that girl. And he says, I want you to learn how not to be tricked. Don't be deceived by that voice. When the ego says, there ain't no hope for you. There ain't no hope for you to fulfill your function as a healer to anybody. Forget about it. You know how you are. Obviously, love was mistaken in choosing you. Learn how not to be deceived by that. Be like, oh yeah, right, that's just what my ego says. That's its job. It's just doing its job. Oh yeah, what do I expect the ego to say? I'm happy for you. I think you'd be great. I think you'd be great as a healer to the planet. Yeah, go for it. Woohoo! You expect the ego to be like, yeah, you're doing fantastic. You'd be a great healer. You think the ego's going to tell you that? Don't be deceived by that despair. Learn how not to be deceived. Learn how to go, oh, well, yeah, that's what the ego says. That's always what it says. It's not going to say anything else. What do I expect it to say? Of course it's going to say, there ain't no hope for you. Remember your past? It says, learn how not to be deceived by that illusion of despair that may seem to come. Because each one of those illusions of despair is reality, and there is God. Wow. What's behind that feeling of hopelessness that I feel sometimes? Reality and God. Who knew? Who knew that behind that despair that I want to kill myself about was God and reality. So you telling me that, and when I'm feeling that hopelessness, like, forget about it. You aren't going to be able to accomplish that. You, with your past, please. You, with the way you feel today, in your life circumstance, please. If you were to not be deceived by that and go, I hear you, ego, I know that's what you say, that's what you do, you always say that, and you're not deceived by that voice, you're not tricked by it, what do you get to experience? What's behind that? God. Reality. Wow. That's amazing. If I can just not be deceived by that voice, I can experience what's behind it. Okay, I think I'll try that sometime.
This is like those times where what you thought was your greatest screw-up is somebody's greatest lesson.
That's exactly right. That's what you experience. You're like, my God, I was experiencing a kind of despair and hopelessness that I wanted to check out around. But I didn't. And for 1 second, I said, that sounds suspiciously like the ego. Maybe that's just the ego. Hey, maybe that's just the ego. Maybe there's some really powerful stuff lurking around here and my ego's afraid and is defending. He says, and then what you find out is what was behind that was God and reality, and you go, wow, that despair that I was really tempted by this morning, that was one of my greatest gifts. If I had run from that, I would not have found the reality that was behind it, which is saving me right now. And he says, would you not, he says, why would you wait for this and trade it for illusions? Why would you wait for God and reality and trade it for illusions of despair when God's love is but an instant further on the road where all your despair ends? Wow, okay, so he's saying that in that moment when I'm experiencing despair, he says, would you not trade that despair for what's waiting for you just an instant further? Like, Spirit's like, if you can just wait an instant more, it's everything you ever wanted in your heart. If you can just wait an instant more and not be deceived by that despair. Wow. That's what we all find out, right? This is always on the other end of our despair, right? Anytime we've ever experienced that despair where we're just ready to give up, and we didn't, what did you find right behind it? A miracle. A miracle. And he says, would you not trade that happiness and that peace and joy that's just an instant further down the road? Wow. And then he says, the end is sure. The end of what? The end of your despair. The end of your despair is sure. What does that mean? That means guaranteed by God. The end of all my struggle, the end of my despair, the end of my self-doubt, the end of my feeling of purposelessness, the end of my fear, the end of my perception of lack is guaranteed by God. Wow. He says, so if that's the case, who's going to stand before a lifeless image of despair when a step away, the Holy of the Holies opens up an ancient door that leads beyond the world? That's what's beyond my despair? Wait, really? Okay. Okay, so I could stand behind a lifeless image of my despair, what my ego wants to show me, you're hopeless. There's no hope for you. I could stand there going, oh. I could stand before that lifeless image of how there ain't no hope for me. Or I could go one instant further along the road and find an ancient door that leads beyond the world. Okay, those are my two options. Oh, okay. Let's see. Door number one, which isn't even a door. It's a lifeless image I could stand in front of. doing nothing, or I could go an instant further down the road and find a door. A door, what kind of door? A door that, an ancient door that leads beyond the world. Okay, so those are my two options. Let's see. What am I gonna choose?
The ego you choose, the lifeless image.
That's right, exactly. I could choose the door that leads beyond the world of limitations and despair, where despair is possible, or I could stand here before worshiping a lifeless image of my failure and my hopelessness, and why I'll never make it.
That's why you're tired.
That's right. That's right, because I'm standing there like before that lifeless image, like someone who's hypnotized going, oh my God, I'll never make it. I'm hopeless because of my past. Oh, love was mistaken in choosing me. I couldn't be of service to anybody. I couldn't even save myself. Okay, I could stand there in front of that lifeless image being hypnotized to the point where while my life force drains from my body, slowly draining to the point where I'm like, well, maybe I'll just die. I'm tired. Or I could go, the Course told me that this may be a trick. The Course told me this may be a deception. Holy Spirit, is there something beyond this? And then go an instant further down the road and find a door.
Well, but I need to be rigorously honest and admit to myself that sometimes I just want to allow myself to be hypnotized by
Yes.
the story. That,
Yes,
you know,
that's
and
right.
I want to allow myself to be hypnotized by it. You know.
Isn't it great to hear that that image, that lifeless image, is the story about ourselves that we had come to believe? That's our self-concept. That's our old self-concept.
Right.
So it's interesting to hear our old self-concept described as a lifeless image. Isn't it interesting? Our old self-concept, how we had come to believe, what we had come to believe about ourselves. Is not being good enough, not enough, something's wrong with me, I'm somehow defective. Is a lifeless image. It's a lifeless image that we've been worshiping. We're standing in front of going, yeah, not good enough, I never will be, there's something wrong with me. It's a lifeless image we're standing in front of, being hypnotized by.
And so then in the meanwhile, I'm blaming everyone.
In the meanwhile,
and
yes.
trying to be a victim, but I'm choosing.
That's right. In the meanwhile, I'm blaming the world for how I feel, not recognizing at all. I'm the one choosing to stand in front of that lifeless image like this. You know? It's me. That's my choice. It's my choice when I could go one instant further down the road and go, oh, my God, and see what's just beyond or what's just behind that self-concept that I have been believing about myself. Beautiful. All right. Everybody take a breath.
And an instant further down the road is a metaphor for whatever, right?
Yes, thank you for saying that. And going an instant further down the road is a moment when I go, maybe this isn't the truth about me. Maybe this isn't all there is about me. Maybe love wasn't mistaken in choosing me. Maybe what I'm feeling and believing about myself right now, maybe it's not true. That is a metaphor for going one more instant down the road where everything that is true about me is waiting for me. Thank you for saying that. All right, paragraph 2. Take a breath. It's heavy-duty stuff, ain't it?
I
So
noticed
beautiful.
down this road, a lot of those doubts just come from, we think we know what this road looks like, and we don't at all.
At all.
That's
That's
why
right.
we're always thinking we're in the wrong place, because it's not the road that we envisioned.
That's right. That's
And
right.
if we could go down the road, then we wouldn't need God at all.
That's exactly right. That's
So
right. We
remember
do.
that you don't know the road every time you doubt yourself.
That's right.
You're probably, if it feels strange, you're probably in the right place.
Funny you would say that. Here's the next sentence. You are a stranger here. Speaking of feeling strange, you are a stranger here. Here where death and disease and lack and loss and self-doubt seem real. You are a stranger here. He says, but you belong to him who loves you as he loves himself. Wow. I do? Okay. So you're a stranger here where you seem to be disconnected from love, from unconditional love, but you belong to him who loves you as he loves himself. Isn't that beautiful? So you're not a stranger in a love that loves you like it loves itself, but you are a stranger here where love seems to be able to end for no good reason at all. Like, you didn't call me back. Love seems to die. Love seems to end for the stupidest reasons here. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
That's how you know it wasn't real love. If your love ends for me because I didn't show up on time, it ain't real. That was not real love. Okay, so, but you belong to a love that loves you as it loves himself. He says, so, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just ask my help. To do what? To roll the stone away. And if you'll just do that when you're afraid and you feel lonely or you feel despair or you feel like lack is real, if you just ask me to roll the stone away, roll the block away, roll the obstacle away, roll the fear away, if you'll just ask but my help to roll the fear and the guilt and the pain and the disease away, then it is done. It's just done according to love's will. That's all I have to do. That's it. Wait a minute. You must really love me and love me completely. Love, if you're telling me that all I have to do is just ask your help to roll the fear or the disease or the lack away. And it's done. Wow. Okay, so now you know what love says to you. In case you're wondering, what does love say? Is this love talking to me? Or is this the ego talking to me? Is this love talking to me or is this fear talking to me? Love says, all I want you to do, all I want you to remember is all you have to do is just ask my help to roll the stone away, the obstacle away. And it's done. According to love's will for you. Okay, so you're telling me love's will for me is that all obstacles to my real happiness are rolled away? That's what love's will for me is? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
that's
I would
it.
like hang out in despair long enough.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's good enough.
I really did believe that God's will for me was to suffer, sacrifice a little, give up what I really love to do, give up who I am to serve your will. That's really, honestly, what I thought God love's will for me was. Give up everything that I am. Give up everything that I love to do.
Sacrifice.
Give it up so that I
You
can,
got to earn it.
yeah, so that I can earn it. So that I can earn your love. That's really, to be honest, that is what I thought love was asking of me.
Mm-hmm.
And in case you're doubting that, check out how it goes in your relationships. Exactly. That's where you really see what you think love asks of you. Right? What do we think in our relationships? We play it out. I think love is asking me to sacrifice who I am to maintain something in form, right? Isn't that what we act out?
Mhm.
If you loved me, you would give up, fill in the blank. If you loved me, you would not do what you wanted and do what I want you to do. You would sacrifice yourself for me if you loved me, right? So is it possible that that's the way we see God? Because that's what we do to each other. It's very hard to imagine that love, meaning God, only wants you to not give up, but gain. It's very difficult to conceive that God doesn't want you to give up anything, He just wants you to accept everything because of who you are. He doesn't want you to earn or anything or change yourself at all, because that's not how we are. That's not how we act in our relationships. We don't say to the people we're in a relationship, all I want for you is to be yourself, fully, whatever that means, in any given moment. I don't want you to change. I don't want you to give up anything. I just want you to be yourself. Now, is that what we say to each other?
Mhm.
No. I will answer for you. Is that what we say to each other?
No.
No. And that's why it's hard to conceive of a love that doesn't ask for sacrifice, a love that only wants us to receive itself fully and give up nothing for it, meaning not ever, not one time, try to earn it. And just say, yes. It's just like, oh, I can't conceive of it. We're like, that must be a trick. That must be the ultimate deception. A love that's not asking me to change who I am or to earn its love or to sacrifice in any way. Are you sure that's not the devil? Are you sure? Because remember, we were warned about, false prophets saying this, saying that. So we're suspicious. We're very suspicious. So when you feel your resistance to this, just remember, that makes perfect sense. Your ego can't but hear this and go, something about that makes me feel very nervous.
Well, it's interesting because the first time, and it wasn't even a Course in Miracles, it was a Course in Love class. I went, and Earl, he was talking about how we're sinless and we're unlimited and all these things. And like my heart was leaping with joy, but at the end of the class, I remember I went up to him and I told him, I'm so sad because I'm never going to be able to come to these classes anymore, because I actually believed that God was going to punish me
Yes.
for hearing such
Yes, absolutely.
blasphemy.
Yes. This seems like the ultimate blasphemy. It really does.
And we have, thousands and thousands and thousands of heritage into believing the total opposite.
I mean, really.
Everywhere
yes.
we go, there is a cross.
Absolutely. And the cross is, this is what you need to do to earn love. That's what it is, metaphorically speaking. You need to earn love. That's the cruelest thing that anybody can do to another human being, is to tell them, you gotta earn my love. You're not okay, you're not lovable. Unless you change. I know, but you know what we do that communicates that message without saying it out loud? We use guilt.
Exactly.
We use guilt to communicate the message in code that says, you need to change. There's something wrong with you. You're not worthy of my love as the way you are. You're not. There's something wrong with you. And until you change, you don't deserve my love. You need to, here's my list. You know how we all get this list? Here's my list of the relationship I want to be in. Great. Wow. Do you think love does that? Okay, so that's one of the cruelest things we could ever do to another human being, is communicate through guilt. Guilt is a deceptive, hidden way of attacking another human being and giving them the message, something wrong with you, you're not worthy of love as you are right now, and you need to change to earn love, my love. That is the cruelest thing, but that's what we do. We do it with our children, we do it in our relationships, we do it with our politicians, that's what the ego does, and that's what we've been doing with each other.
That's a learned emotion.
It's a learned perception. And now, what do? And we projected it onto God. And now we have this concept of, instead of taking responsibility for it and going, oh my God, I have made God in my image. Dang. No wonder why I'm so scared. Instead of taking responsibility for it, what do we do now? We go, well, you know how God is. You know how God is. He's so conditional in his love. He's so conditional. He's so demanding and punishing. And you know what? Screw him. I'm just going to forget about him. I don't need him. I'll do it myself. And then we forget about God. We reject God because we projected onto him what we don't want to take responsibility for. And we project it onto him, and then we're like, screw him. I don't need God. I'm doing fine on my own. Right? And then we wonder where this haunting sense of disconnection and hopelessness and despair and fear comes from.
And we recreate it with every single other person we know.
Exactly. And then we're just like, you know what? I don't know where that comes from. It's too deep. You know what I'm going to do?
Love. Just kidding.
I'm just going to distract myself. I'm going to put by that existential sense, that existential sense of despair that haunts me. I'm just going to put it by in games I play to put away from me the suffering that I feel. I'm just going to distract myself. And I got plenty of ways to do it. I got TV, I got money, I got food, I got sex, I got relationships. I got a whole world. I got a whole world of distractions. That's what I'm going to do. You know, and I'm going to try to put by my suffering in games I play to distract myself from that haunting sense of hopelessness that I feel. Why? That I cannot but feel if I feel like I am somehow disconnected from my source. From love.
You feel that all the time.
Yeah, me, you know. And I tell you what, all of a sudden I get to the end of my life, and what have I done for my whole life? Distracted myself. That's all I've been doing. Damn. You know, oh. Shoot, I could have been present. I could have been present to the holies of holies that was waiting for me right there in every instant. Okay, now, that's what it means to say in paragraph 2, you are a stranger here. He says, but you belong to him who loves you as he loves himself. So here's what I want you to do. When you feel afraid, and when you feel scared, and when you feel that despair, and you feel hopeless, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just ask my help to roll that stone away. That's all. And guess what? It's done. It's done. You know why? Because that's my will for you. That's my will for you. It's just to, what's love's will for you? Holy Spirit's job is to roll your stones away. He's like, just ask me. That's my job. Don't be trying to do it yourself. It's not your job. That's my job. Here you are like, you don't even recognize you put that stone there. Stop it.
I just stand there at the stone.
Stop it. You're hurting yourself. You don't even know you're the one who put it there, so you can't roll it away yourself. Stop it. Ask my help. That's my job, not yours. If you knew you're the one who put that stone there, it wouldn't be there. Stop trying to push that stone away yourself. Just ask my help to roll that stone away, and it will be done. He says, paragraph 2, sentence 4, We have begun the journey. And long ago, the end of that journey was written in the stars, and it was set into heaven with a shining ray that held it safe within eternity and through all time as well, and holds it still unchanged,
Yes.
unchanging, and unchangeable. Okay, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We have begun the journey. The end of the journey we began is set in heaven. It's done. Set in heaven. It's set in there into heaven with a shining ray that held it safe within eternity throughout all time and holds it still. In other words, it's done. You started this journey of awakening. It's done. Don't worry about it. Paragraph 3, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. All that's happening is we only start again an ancient journey that was long ago begun that just seems new. What are we doing? Oh, we're on this ancient journey that seems new. Like I'm pretending like I don't know what's really going to happen. He says, it just seems new. The journey you're on just seems new. It just seems new. It's already been ended. It's already been accomplished. Isn't that beautiful? That's the metaphysics of the Course. The journey you're on from forgetting and from sleep to awakening, it's already done. You know, you started on this journey to awake to who you are and what you're here for. You started it, it's already ended. Psst. Don't tell anybody. It's already ended. It's already done. You already accomplished it. It just seems new. It just seems like, oh look what happened today. Ha ha ha. Oh, look at this new relationship. Oh, look at this new thing. Oh, isn't that wonderful? It just seems new. It's already been completed. And he says, we have all that's happened is that we've begun again upon a road we traveled on before and lost our way a little while. And now we try again. And our new beginning has the certainty that our journey lacked till now. So now I want you to look up, and I want you to see his word among the stars, where he has set your name along with his. I want you to look up, and I want you to find your certain destiny that your world has just tried to hide from you, but God wants you to see. Wow. Interesting. I love he's talking about our journey. He says, all that's happening is we're beginning again upon a road that we traveled on before. Okay, so you tell me I traveled on this road before. I've traveled on this road before? Yeah, that's right. You've traveled on this road before, but you forgot your way. You lost your way. I've been on the journey to awakening to who I am. I've been on it before. I just lost my way. I went to sleep. I took a little detour. I was like, oh, money, oh, the body, and I detoured and then fell asleep, drooling. What am I doing? And then I woke back up in my head. Where am I going? Okay, where am I going? Oh yeah, I'm just here to wake up to who I am. And we started on the journey, started on the road again, See the metaphor? So you're just starting again upon a road that you've been on for a while. This ain't new. You just fell asleep for a little while, thinking that there was something more valuable than remembering who you are. Like, oh, if I could just have enough money. If I could just get someone to like me well enough. And you did a detour. Now you're back. You're starting back along the road that you'd been on, that you traveled on before. And then he says, I want you to look up and see your name written in the stars. Okay? Chips. What does that mean metaphorically, do you think? When he's saying, I want you to look up and I want you to see your name written in the stars. In other words, it's like, I want you to look up and see your certain destiny. I want you to look up and realize that even the universe knows you.
Yes.
Even the universe has a plan for you.
Yes.
And it's interesting, what a great metaphor. I want you to look up and recognize and remember that even the universe knows you and remembers you and has a plan for you. We know you. You know, the universe is like, we know you. We've been waiting for you to come back to your senses. Hello again. Remember us? Okay? That's oh, that's so funny. You thought that your job here was that? Oh, that's great. You ready now? You ready now? You ready? Okay? That's to me what it means metaphorically is when he says, I want you to look up and I want you to see your name written in the stars. And now also, in other words, I want you to look up and see your certain destiny written there. The universe is like, hey, we know you. We love you, and we got a plan for you. Are you ready for that? Are you ready? Or do you need to take another little side trip? You know, down the body road. You know, down the road to valuing things that only a body could need. Like protection, pleasure, pride. Do you need to do that again? Or are you ready now to do your destiny? You done with your detour? Are you ready now to take your place among the healers of the planet? Or do you need to take another little detour? I mean, we love you either way. That's fine. You need to do a little detour. That's fine. What are you here for? Are you here for another special relationship? Are you here to get a little more money? You here to get a little more body pride or pleasure? Or are you ready here to fulfill your function? And that's what it means to look up and see that your name is written in the stars and then see your certain destiny written there. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Well, and that just really encourages me because it just, what I believe it's telling me is that you know, no matter how many times I get distracted, I will always come back to the journey and we'll make it.
That's right, exactly. And that's the end of hopelessness. The end of hopelessness goes something like this. I have been long delayed. But that's all it's been, and that's all it could ever be. And I'm ready now, once again, to take my place among the healers of the world. That's the end of despair. And the second that you do that, the heavens themselves go, yay! The Course in Miracles says literally, heaven itself rejoices, meaning all those who've already woken up to who they are and what they're here for, all those beings, they go, woohoo! And then what do? They lend their assistance to you. They lend their thoughts to you. They lend their energy to you. That's what happens. That's what it means to say the heavens themselves rejoice. When you go, oh yeah, I'm here to help you the planet. I'm not here to get that job. I'm not here to just get that person to like me. Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
That's what it means to wake up, by the way. Let's just break it down. What does it mean to wake up? Oh yeah, I'm not just here to get somebody to like me. I'm not just here to look good. Oh yeah. Dang, I've wasted a lot of time just trying to look good. You know, let me not feel guilty or embarrassed that I've spent an entire lifetime just trying to look good and get people to like me. It's all right. I just remembered I'm here for the healing and the awakening of the world. Okay? When you have that holy instant, all that have woken up before you to that, they go, woohoo! Yay! Let's help that girl out. And that's what happens. And the next thing you know, your life gets easier. Your life gets easier and easier and easier and easier. Why? Because you have now opened yourself up to planetary assistance. You want to know the real secret to wealth and abundance in this experience? Is when you sign up with those who have already woken up to their purpose and now have the purpose of awakening others to their purpose. You signed up. You went, Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm about. That's what I want my body to be about. That's what my life to be about. He says that when you do that, you literally set yourself up for cosmic support.
So have they died?
And he says that is the key to real wealth. That's the key to real wealth. It's not like, oh, you've worked hard enough, and you've gotten good enough at what you do, and you've got enough people to like you and want what you. That's not it. That's not the key to real wealth. Real wealth is set yourself up in a position where even the universe wants to help you. And the way you do that is you dedicate yourself in your purpose to the healing of the planet, the awakening of the planet. Then the universe goes, fantastic, we're going to support her. That's the key to real abundance. Because now the universe supports you.
What were you saying? What kind of assistance did you say?
I said cosmic assistance. I don't know if I used the word cosmic
No, you
assistance.
didn't. It was a different word, but I liked it. Now
I did
can't
too.
think of it.
I don't know. What kind of assistance did I say? Planetary assistance?
Yes, planetary assistance and cosmic help.
Yeah,
Are those
planetary
people-
assistance and cosmic help.
Are
The key to real wealth
yeah.
is setting yourself up to be the recipient of planetary assistance and
Right.
cosmic help.
Are those people on the planet necessarily or not?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So they're not dead.
Doesn't matter. They're not dead. Look,
I mean, their bodies.
nobody dies.
Right.
Yeah, nobody does.
Certainly love never dies. So yeah, they're not dead. They may not have a body.
Okay.
I sure hope not.
No, you're talking about real wealth, like world wealth,
No, I'm talking about
abundance.
real wealth, meaning you knowing that all your needs
Are met.
are met. It's
Yeah,
like this. The Course says, look,
Right, perfect.
the Course says that those folks who've already woken up to who they are
Yeah.
and are already fulfilling their function, they know you have needs here in time. They know you got a body. They know the body needs money. They know the body needs time, and they know the body needs food and shelter. He says, look, if you are going to align your purpose with the purpose of these beings, then they support you. They're like, I know you need some money for your rent. Here you go. I know you need some food. Here you go. I know you need a place. I know you need a body. Here you go. Okay? So it's just like that old biblical saying that says, seek you first the kingdom of heaven and all else is added. That to me, that's what I get from the Course. That's what that really means. You want to have an experience where your experience is whatever I need is provided. I need money, I need shelter, I need companionship, I need healthy food, I need whatever. The way wealth is, the experience of real wealth is like, I know that whatever I need to stay here and fulfill my function here is going to be provided. And so I'm not tripping and I'm not stressed out and I'm not anxious about where it's going to come from. That's real wealth. And that doesn't come because you worked hard enough, and you saved hard enough, and you know the right people, and you look right, and you act right, and you work hard enough, and you invested properly. That is not where it comes from. It comes from you have decided that your purpose is the same purpose as love's purpose, which is that mankind wake up and return back to peace so that the planet is a safe place for everybody. All right.
That was good. Let's end on that.
Let's do. Let's end on that high note. Okay, so we're going to stop here and we're going to do our love offering and announcements. Thank you, Jim, for passing the basket.
When you mentioned detours, I got this image of somewhere along the line you figure out that all of these detours just wander around right back to the main
That's
road
right.
anyway.
That's all detours are circular.
Yeah, you just end up back.
And some detours I want to do as a lifetime. Some detours I'm willing, some detours are only a day. I'm going to detour off for an hour here. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm totally detouring. I'm just on a little detour. Can you call me back in an hour?
You know that song, there's a song like that.
Really?
Detour, there's a muddy road ahead, detour, pay no mind to what it said, detour. I
Yeah.
don't know the rest of it.
The quickest way to exit a detour and make your way back to the path is to not attack yourself for it, and don't attack someone else for it. Just go, oh, detour, detour, that's all. Let's get back on track. If you feel guilty, or you blame someone else, or if you blame someone else or you feel guilty, you're gonna stay on that detour a little longer. The way to exit a detour is to take full responsibility. This is my detour, I'm doing it to myself, and I would now like to get back on track. That's the way you exit a detour, just in case you were wondering.
So along the same lines, then is it all right for me to be like, well, I know I'm on this detour, I know I'm on this detour, but I'm really liking this.
Yeah,
detour,
absolutely.
And I'm not ready to get off yet.
That is forgiving yourself. That is taking responsibility. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so my cards are on the piano here, and I do holistic psychotherapy. If you know somebody who might enjoy getting a combination of this with what might be called more traditional worldly counseling, take my card and pass it along to them, okay? Also, my classes are available online for free. So if you would like to see those or pass those along to somebody else, you can find them one of two places. You can find them on my website, kujawa.com, or you can go to vimeo.com, which is a different version of YouTube. So it's vimeo.com, and you put in my name, all my videos are there, okay? So if you like a video, like a class and want to see it again or want to send it to somebody else, you can do it in that way. Or if you can't make it to class, you can just watch online.
Do you have to have a computer for that?
Or some other type of streaming device.
All right.
Yeah, so. For you, obviously, you need to come to live classes if you don't have a computer. Okay. You are one of the few rare beings on the
But
planet.
aren't I though?
That's fine. Luckily, you're in Denver and so am I. Any other announcements? Any other announcements anybody needs to make?
Hi, I'm Chris, and on Tuesdays I do a group in Course in Miracles, and we get together at the 7 Cups Tea House, 1882 South Pearl, from noon to 1, and just read the course. So if anyone's interested, I'm doing it tomorrow. Please come on. Thank you.
Beautiful, thank you. Anybody else? Oh, I have CDs on the table, and that's me reading to music the original edition of the course. So this version that you're looking at is the edited version. There's some stuff that was left out. So I'm reading chapters 1 through 7, beautiful music. It's a fantastic meditative healing device that I create so that I can keep the truth flowing in to my awareness, even when my ego has got me like this. So I use it when I can't remember the truth of myself. I use it when I'm falling asleep. I use it when I'm waking up. I use it in my car. I use it to make sure that I don't forget this. So those are $10 each, and if you want one, put the money on the piano in a basket so that it's separate from these love offerings, okay? So those are also available.
What is chapter 1 through 7 of the original course?
It's the text. So it's the
Is that where they talk about, wasn't it where they have angels or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's talk about angels and psychology and Freud and
Wow.
sex and all kinds of things that were left out of this version. It's really fascinating. It's really fascinating. It's been a trip reading the unedited version. It's been amazing. Yeah, I love it. Talks about all the various different ego defenses like repression and I forget the other ones, suppression.
So it's sort of how they say they rewrote the Bible so many times.
In a way, it's like that.
Same thing, isn't it?
It's just like, Helen Schuckman and and Ken Wapnick, they looked at it and thought, oh, this doesn't read so well,
Yeah.
or.
Well,
you know.
and Bill Thedford too, some of it.
My understanding was that the editing was undertaken by Helen and
Ken?
Ken. So, and
Really?
that's my understanding so far. They were just like, oh, this doesn't read well, or that was a personal reference, or whatever. They had their
Yeah.
own, they said they were guided in doing that. But what they left out has been very useful to me. That's all I know.
Can you get in the original version?
What'd you say?
Can you buy the original book anywhere?
Sure, I got it from Amazon. Yeah, or you can get the
Get it on
CDs.
Kindle.
Yeah, so, okay, so now we're gonna do the integration meditation, 5 minutes, and take us to 9 o'clock. And I'm just going to finish reading this section as the integration meditation. Normally what we do is we take the ideas that were found and we use them for something that we've been going through, meaning we do practical application. Because we didn't finish this and it's so beautiful, it's just meditative and powerful itself, I'm just going to read to you the rest of this section, and that's going to be our integration meditation. Okay? So, given all that, what I want you to do is okay, so I want you to just breathe, close your eyes and breathe for a moment. I want you to just tune in to how you feel right now. How do you feel having heard these ideas tonight? And just see if you can return in your awareness to that place within you that knows that you're a stranger here, and knows that your certain destiny has been written in the stars and is being held there by an ancient ray, a shining ray that holds your certain destiny there among the stars, safe through all time. Just see if you can make contact with that place within you. You to wait here in silence, in this holy instant now. I want you to wait here in silence. And in your mind's eye, I want you to kneel down an instant in your gratitude to Him who has called to you and has helped you to hear His call. In your mind's eye, kneel down an instant in your gratitude to the love that has called to you and helps you to hear its call. And then I want you to arise in your mind's eye, and I want you to go in faith along the way to this love. In your mind's eye, see yourself arising and going in faith along that road to that love. And as you are walking on your way down that path to that love. I want you to recognize, I want you to be sure that you don't walk alone. Now you are sure you don't walk alone. And now for a moment, I want you to experience certainty that God is here. And with God, who's here with you, all your brothers. I want you to experience that certainty for a moment. God is with me, here, now, on this path I walk. And not only God, but all my brothers and all my sisters. Experience that. Now we know that we will never lose the way again. So I want you to say to yourself, now I know I'll never lose my way again. And I want you to hear the song begin again that had stopped only an instant, though it seemed to be unsung forever. Can you hear it? What is here in this moment is begun, is now going to grow in life, and it's going to grow in strength. And it's going to grow in hope. What is now begun in this moment now. When you arise and walk again along this path to love. What is here begun is going to grow in life. And it's going to grow in strength. And it's going to grow in hope until the whole world is still an instant and forgets all that the dream of sin had made of it. Just breathe that in. Breathe in that certainty. Breathe in that hopefulness. And now, I want you to go out and meet the newborn world. Go out and meet the newborn world, knowing that love has been reborn in it. And I want you to know also that the holiness of this rebirth of the world is going to last forever. We had lost our way, but love has found our way for us. So let us go and bid love welcome. Love who returns to us to celebrate the end of all we thought we made. And breathe. And I want you to see something. I want you to see in your mind's eye the morning star of this new day, looking upon a different world, a world where God is welcome, and you welcome along with God. The morning star of this new day looks upon a different world. A world where you are welcome. How would you like to awaken to a world in which you are welcome and God along with you? We who complete God offer thanks to God, and God gives thanks to us. And now you are still. You are still. Now you are still. And in the quiet that God has given you, you enter at last your home and you rest. You at last are still. And in the quiet God has given you, you enter your home and you are at peace at last in this stillness God has given you. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, just take another breath and yawn and stretch. Come on back to your body. All right. Isn't that beautiful? That beautiful, that last part, the beautiful meditation prayer. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sharing in this experience of this curriculum. That's what we're doing. We're sharing in the experience of the curriculum, helping each other to learn it. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Donna.
And I'll see you next time I see you. See you next time I see you.
Yeah, baby. Only 'cause you asked.
So if you want to take some credit, go ahead. Yeah, it's better now. separate lines of those who never see what they're doing to themselves. Those are usually where we tend to project. Take care of ourselves. So there's
Someone the one who says, what's your birthday?
September 16th.
Yeah.
That's like a 12 pages over the last section. And you, that's just very amazing.
Okay, I'll see you.
Yeah, sources.
How we doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Okay. All right. Feel it. Okay. That's great to have you. Yeah.
Hey, holla at your girl.
All right.
Cause we're meeting on
We got a
Sunday.
plan Sunday. Yep.
Even though your arms are looking stellar.
You're looking beautiful.
Just, just like coming into my function, just like finally not having a divided loyalty to my function. Not having a divided loyalty anymore. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Finally, my loyalty is to my function in awakening instead of dividing it into specialness. So it's been extraordinary.
That's great. That's
So yeah, it's been powerful. Yeah, and I've been moving too.
You're moving.
Yes, to a house in Golden. Yeah, so I'm in that process right now. That's not been the most pleasurable, that's been the challenging aspect of my experience. But along
I
with that.
have your phone number, so
Oh yeah, that's right. But if you want a nice bookmark, you can have one.
don't know
Excellent. You're welcome.
you guys have been beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, I would like to.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good one. I gotta use them up so I can make new ones, because this one doesn't have my website on it.
Okay,
Hey,
lovely to
very
see
beautiful to see you.
you. And, I will see you before your birthday.
I know, so really great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
How long are each of the CDs?
What'd you say?
How long are each of the CDs?
Oh, they're usually about an hour. Let me get that, I forgot to pull it up.
So 2 of 6.
Uh-huh. This one, just two.
Okay, can you change that?
I sure can.
Yes, my divorce is final last Thursday. Going on 2.5 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
No kidding. Just fight. And then,
Yeah, it'll have to be at least 2.5 years.
and then coincidentally, I happened to meet this gentleman on September 16th.
Uh-huh.
And we went on a date, went on a date shortly after that.
Mhm.
And so on Friday, I took off. Come here, went to Detroit, and had the most amazing weekend. It's like
That was what was waiting on the other side.
Yes.
That's right, yes, that's right, that the,
But I
yes,
still feel
that
like,
was,
you know, I'm
that was
still,
what was waiting on the other side. You know, like you said, on the other side of all of our illusions is reality, meaning what you really deserve. What you really deserve on the other side of all that.
good, so now I just have to make sure I have my
That
head right.
you, that's right, all you need to do right now is make sure that you keep the truth in front of your awareness. You know, all the while the ego's gonna try to sabotage, like, that's what it does.
Mhm.
You know, specialness is the seal of treachery upon the gift of love. So as soon as we allow real love to enter, the ego's just like, oh, really, how nice, well, let's see how I can use this. Let's see how I can possess this, let's see how I can get this to stay the same.
Just
So,
gotta be.
you gotta be vigilant.
You gotta be me, you just gotta.
You gotta be vigilant. Keep reading the course. Just keep reading the course.
See you later.
That's it.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh, I never even turned it off.